Hello everyone, my name is Steven. Today I would like to represent my team to introduce our presentation topic, impact investing. My team had 6 members, respectively include Wu Jingyu, Liao Baiwei, Lin Qianyu, Li Yujiang, Chen Yunyuan, and me, Steven, from Vietnam. Here is our presentation outline, which includes 5 sections. First of all, we will introduce about the definition of the impact investing and why we need impact investing. Secondly, my teammate Lin Qianyu, she will present where the impact investors putting their money in. Thirdly, this is the part of the Liao Baiwei. He will show you how large it is the market today. Next, we will list out 3 examples in different social issues of the impact investing, and the section 5 we will present by Wu Jingyu, Chen Yunyuan, and Li Yujiang respectively. We collect the data on the Google Trend to find out the level of the searching of short-term impact investing and the ESG investing. Yeah, surprisingly, it surprised us that people started to concern more about the impact investing besides that is the ESG investing in the recent year. Since 2009, the rising interest in this aspect is also demonstrated through the below article we find from some notable news like CNBC, Financial Times, Forbes, The Economic, Bloomberg, Reuters, and so on. You can see that the Gen Y and the Gen Z, which we call it the millennial, is about a student. They lead the impact investment fund, and after the COVID-19 pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic could lead to the catalyst for the sustainable investing and become the norm. And a fund called Temasek of the Singapore government, they also see the impact investing at a tipping point. And you also can see that on the bottom of the line, you can see that the impact investing one pension fund in Thailand. Thailand is the emerging market. It saw the way from the intention to implementation in the impact investing. Now, let's start with what is the impact investing. The graph below will give you guys a comprehensive view of the impact investing. We have the 2 dimension. First is the financial returns, and the second one is the impact return. Usually, most of the investors among me, the most concern when we invest in something is about seeking about the financial return, and this required return rate might be higher or lower than the market return based on the risk tolerance of individuals. And the impact investing is an investment approach that focuses on the financing the business or the projects with the intensity, positive, measurable, and sustainable impact on the society. I mean the social issues. It should be related to microfinance, more business finance, health wellness, or maybe it's the education or the renewable energy initiative, and my teammate will explain more about it. Now, on this page, you can see that the diagram below is the 73 of the investment. On my left hand side is the traditional investment. Traditional investment is that you are looking forward the exact return of your investment, and you don't care about the impact on some social issues. On the other hand, on the right hand side, some investor, I mean the high net worth individual like Bill Gates, he is the philanthropist and also the billionaire, and he gave out his wealth for the philanthropy activities and don't care about the financial return. And in the middle point, you can see that the impact investing is the equilibrium between the traditional investment and the philanthropic donation that you can get not only the earning the financial return equal to the market, but also doing some impact on your society. And we also have a different degree. like what is the ESG investing, socially responsible investing, program-related investments, and venture philanthropy. But due to the limits of the time, so I will keep it, and in case you want to understand more, you can stop the video and to read the definition. And this slide will give you a comprehensive and clearly in the dimension in the financial return and the social impact targets. And what impact investing mean is the equilibrium, like as mentioned above, of the that equilibrium of the benefits between the financial return investor and the social impact investor. This slide shows you that the asset allocation framework of some fund, several funds, which they priority between the financial return first or the impact investing first. There are several asset class. You can see the first is the cash senior debt and the mezzanine debt. Mezzanine debt is the type of the convertible bond of fixed income, which the holder can convert their bond to the equity. And the next is the public equity, and they also has the alternative instrument like the venture capital, private flow equity, real estate, and other real asset, and some absolute return. I mean the hedge funds. There has in the different asset class, we have the example about the fund in the financial first or the impact first, but the fund is also in tendency on the impact investing. But the main point here is the quick dimension they incline to financial first or the impact first did their priority. Now we will move to the why we need impact investing. Beyond the sustainable development goal, we have around 17 goals that for the better world. After many surveys from the responders, and each global goal will change based on different year. After each year, they will do a new survey, and you can see that the first priority is about the world will has no poverty, and the next one is the zero hunger, and the third is the good health and the well-being, and the fourth is the quality of the education, which means that every children was born in the world had the good quality, and the five is the gender equality, and you can see it. And now I will leave my presentation part to my teammate Lin Qianyu.
Then section 3 is where our investor putting money. For the goals mentioned above, we can know that the goal of impact investing is to achieve SDGs. So from this chart, we can know which are the most investable, not to know which topic is the most urgent or most important. Among them, we can see that affordable energy has the highest proportion, 72%. It can be seen that affordable energy is the most investable. From the GRIN survey 2020, we know that there is 47 billion United States dollars capital invest to 12,534 investment in 2020. Among them, asset manager for profit accounting for 51%, foundation accounting for 40%. The other proportion can be seen in the pie chart below. For the analysis of various industry categories where money goes, the highest proportion is 16% for renewable energy, financial service for 12%, and forestry for 10% extra. Next, Section 4. How large is the market today? For this figure, private investment funds raised by asset managers since 2008. We can see that traditional private equity funds has 5,070 billion United States dollars in 2008 to 2018, which is the most. Others have 133 billion United States dollars and 71 billion United States dollars. From this figure, we can see that impact, intent, and measurement fund disproportionately focus on emerging markets. Impact fund has a higher proportion of their portfolio in regions outside of Europe and North America. From this figure, we can see that in developed markets, the majority of such funds investment is focused on infrastructure. However, in emerging markets, it is very little of their investment focused on infrastructure. The two markets are very different, and the result of research is that the infrastructure investment gap is more likely due to the absence of bankable project rather than an absence of capital. From this figure, we can see that in 2019, there are 294 number of organizations making impact investments, which have grown a lot in the past 2 decades. From this figure, we can see that the investment type of each organization type is very different. They are holding impact and conventional for 100%, such as pension fund. Some have a higher percentage of impact-only holdings, such as development finance institution, which hold 83% for impact only and 14% for impact and conventional. Next, about impact investing opportunities and challenges. In opportunities, there are growing interest among capital providers and greater recognition of the need of effective solution to social and environmental challenges, etc. In challenges, there are lack of efficient intermediation and lack of enabling infrastructure, etc.
Because more investment managers introduce impact investing vehicles, and there is growing market demand for a common standard for how to do this. For example, the demand comes from investment managers who are new to managing for impact and who are looking for guidance on what they need to do differently to deliver impact in a disciplined way. So IFC had developed a measurement called Operating Principles for Impact Management. These principles are neutral concerning which impact are targeted and which financial return are targeted. The general rule is that impact should be integrated with financial consideration at all stages of decision making, and they should address 4 stages: setting the investment strategy, including origination and structuring, portfolio management, and where appropriate portfolio exists. And last important thing is to disclose element to the public and provide regular independent verification of the element. This is a method of measuring impact investment, using the above question to allow shareholders or stakeholders to realize the impact and challenges of the fund. First one is what outcomes does the effect related to, and how important are they to people or planet. Second, how much of the effect occurs in the time period. Third, who experiences the effect and how underserved are they in relation to the outcome. Fourth, how does the effect compare and contribute to what is likely to occur anyway. Last one is risk. Which risk factors are material and how likely is the outcome different from the expectation? Next, I'll give everyone an example of PG Life Fund, how to apply this framework. PG Life is a private fund in the market, and their objective is trying to achieve risk-adjusted financial returns with positive social and environmental impact. So this fund is focused on the goals relating to education, healthcare, energy access, clean energy, and social inclusion. On this slide, we can see that they list 5 questions and give them a score separately, so public can understand which dimension is advantage and which dimension has more challenge. AIMM is a system that IFC launched in 2017. It is a systematic and rigorous framework to assess the development impact of investment operation ex ante and monitor results ex post. IFC is developing detailed sector framework to apply across more than 20 industry sectors. The objective of sector-specific frameworks is to guide assessment of impact that on the one hand reflect the core outcomes of different sectors and on the other hand use standard industry measurements. Therefore, each sector framework includes different impact components under project outcomes and market attributes that are relevant for their industry. And this figure lists the AIMM sector frameworks being developed by IFC to assess the development impact of its global operation and across its functional industry groups. This slide is how AIMM ratings reflect risk-adjusted expectation of impact through the analysis of impact potential and likelihood. AIMM ratings reflect risk-adjusted expectation of impact, following the same approach of financial performance analysis, which divide risk-adjusted return between the expected rates of return and the associated investment risk. AIMM ratings are based on a measure of potential impact, and that is adjusted for the likelihood of both the project and market outcomes materializing. The separation of potential from likelihood allows the analysis of potential to focus on the capacity of an intervention to generate expected impact, regardless of surrounding risk. To determine potential, the individual like project and market effects are evaluated through evidence that support the development challenge being addressed and the intensity, like extent or efficiency of the project in addressing the relevant development gap. This slide shows the industry and main asset relationship diagrams of each example, and we will introduce later.
Now I want to introduce the example Bank Indonesia. First of all, I will introduce the background. BRI is one of the largest commercial financial institutions in the world providing rural financial services. Its microfinance system provides substantial and sustainable financial service to millions of rural residents in Indonesia. BRI was founded in 1895. BRI's business is mainly divided into three parts. The first is commercial finance, the second is microfinance, and the last is companies and international finance. Unit of BRI was founded in 1968 to promote rice production and provide various subsidized loans to farmers. Due to high operating costs and low recovery rates, low interest rates and use are restricted by the government. It's difficult to cover costs and risks. With the help of the government, BRI decided to reform the system and turn it into a sustainable and independent business operation system. The core content and the purpose of the reform are independent management, self-financial, and independent accounting. After the reform, BRI's microfinance business developed rapidly, and the profits increased year by year, becoming the main source of income for the BRI. Next, I will introduce the model of operation. The first is product. One object. There are two types. One is small-scale owners and self-employed households. The other is individuals with fixed income. Next is account. The maximum amount is about 40,000 RMB. And the third is interest rate, according to the principle of income covering costs and risk. It was initially determined as 32 and roughly 30 and to 35 floating, and the long springs about 10%. The first is repayment methods. There are 3 ways: months, qualities, and half a year. And the 5 is guarantee, providing a guarantee of not less than the equivalent amount of the loan. Business, and the second is business process. The first is pre-loan investigation, to have two preliminary understanding of customers and strengthen customers' understanding loans and operations. The second is the loan application, based information required: name, address, family status, long history. And the third is long investigation, and conduct on the spot investigation on customers, collect inform about customers' production and operation activities, income source. The last is loan approve. And the third is organization management. The first is decentralization. Each business office is a separate profit center and is for responsible for their business results. And second is standardization. To achieve a high degree of standardization in the operation of a system by providing a certain amount of long and deposit products and investing in system training. Standardization and simplification ensures that branches are directly responsible for operating results and maintain high level of transparency. Third is supervision. The branch directs frequently and continuously supervise the business office. And the last is simplify the information system in order to obtain the basic information required by the management. The sales office system forms a large number of reports and reports to the branches and head offices.
Hello everyone, I'm Chen Yunyuan, and I introduce example 2, California Framework Fund, a social issue about health and wellness. The California Framework Fund is a public-private partnership loan fund. The $270 million fund provide financing for grocery store and other forms of the healthy food retail and distribution by providing feasible capital to eligible applicants. And why does the fund provide financing for opening new grocery store and healthy food retail in California? First, low-income rural areas are most affected by limited access to healthy food. Study has consistently shown that there are fewer supermarkets and other retail outlets selling affordable, nutritious food in a low-income community than in a wealthier one. Second, one nationwide study found that low-income zip code has 2,500 fewer chain supermarkets than middle-income zip code. The problem goes beyond health. Poor communities are cut off from the economic development opportunities that arise from a local grocery store, including the creation of the job, the attraction of the other small business, and the support of the surrounding residential real estate value. So, what the California Framework Fund can mean for California? There are 4 points. First, access to healthier food. In California, adults in a neighborhood with a low access to healthy food options are 20% more likely to obese than those with a high access to healthy food. Each year in California, obesity costs thousands of deaths and costs families, employers, the healthcare industry, and the government more than $6 billion. Second, new job. 24.3 new jobs are created on average for every 10,000 square feet of retail grocery space. Typical grocery store range in size from 20,000 to 50,000 square feet, so every new grocery store can bring 50 to 120 new job opportunities. Third, improve property value. An assessment found that home value increased by 4 to 7% in neighborhood with the new grocery store. Final. Increased tax revenue. Increased retail activity, employment, and property value lead to increased sales, income, and property tax revenue, helping relieve pressure on the state and the local budget.
Hello, Professor. This is Levi. First of all, I would like to thank the team members for their detailed reports. Next, I will explain the final example called Vital Capital. Vital Capital is a private equity fund aimed at making impaired investment private in sub-Saharan Africa. Since the fund established in 2011, Vital Capital's impaired investment have brought development impact to millions of individuals in low and middle income communities. The visuals taken by Vital Capital will be explained in detail below. The first is urban communities. Vital Capital is committed to developing high-quality, affordable housing and various facilities to improve the quality of life. The second is agriculture. Through an end-to-end agricultural industry center, Vital Capital provides precision, distribution, and sales services to improve the quality of life. The third is energy. Vital Capital achieves stable energy production through the use of clean energy, including biomass, hydropower, solar, and wind energy technologies. The fourth is water. Vital Capital improves the supply of drinking water, including pipes of water storage and distribution, as well as innovative wastewater recycling technologies and solutions. The fifth is education. Vital Capital improves access to high-quality local education at an affordable price, including upgraded school buildings, teaching resources. The sixth is medical care. Vital Capital introduced world-class medical care to developing regions to meet the urgent needs of modern medical care at affordable prices. Next, I want to talk about how Vital Capital responds to the impact of COVID-19. As a result of COVID-19, global foreign investment is expected to fall by 30% to 40%. The potential economic crisis facing Africa is very severe. Therefore, Vital Capital launched a new debt financing mechanism to provide loans to companies in sub-Saharan Africa to help them. The Vital Impact Relief Fund will invest $10 million to provide companies to undergo the economic consequences of the virus. And Vital Capital's important impact relief facility is providing debt to companies that meet the following conditions. The first is about geography. It was initially launched in Kenya and Uganda. In the following weeks and months, it expanded to other areas. Next comes the sector. It is mainly for companies active in areas such as healthcare, agro-industry, and precision, sustainable infrastructure, and education. There are also requirements for the loan size, between $80,000 and $1.2 million. Regarding the company's revenue requirements, because the facility is designed to support business that will grow regardless of the global crisis, Vital Capital requires the company to demonstrate a year-on-year increase in gross profit over the past 3 fiscal years. In terms of impact, by adopting a resource-based approach, seeking investment projects or services that can improve the economy in sub-Saharan Africa. Finally, it is about ESG. Vital's ESG management system is comprehensive and governed by a sustainability framework and standards. ESG factors are part of the decision-making and investment maintenance process of Vital Capital throughout the investment style. Finally, I want to emphasize again the core of every investment made by Vital is to improve the personal and social well-being in sub-Saharan Africa, and it achieves this goal by making large active investment in impaired communities that suburban communities are in high demand. Our example is Cora Housing. You can see the second picture from the left at the top. It's Vital's largest investment, developing affordable housing communities. Cora was contracted to build 45,000 affordable housing units in 66 to 9 provinces in Angola. To date, Cora has completed 50,260 units and is now building another 7,500 units. Cora has also returned to 60% of investor capital, and not expected to call additional capital. Cora's communities provide a full range of amenities alongside a sustainable urban layout with social, cultural, and educational facilities. By supplying a solution to the fundamental problem of housing, Cora aims to provide each resident with a springboard for their educational, professional, and personal goals, thus working toward an all-around increase in opportunity for the next generation. In conclusion, impact investment is a new outlook along with the innovation comes a challenging responsibility to prove its viability. Vital capital is driven by these challenges, constantly appraising its methodology, sharing it with interested parties, and engage in a dialogue that will better provide the implementation of impact investment. This is our report. Thank you so much.